Video games receive a lot of unwanted media attention these days, but do they deserve it? Hello, I'm Joseph Pemberton, and tonight we're going to investigate whether violent video games causes violence in children. Video games such as Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto are becoming more and more popular, with Grand Theft Auto 5 selling 11.21 million copies within the first 24 hours, making an estimated £511 million. But what effects are these games having? We spoke to Owen Doherty, a 12-year-old gamer, as to why he plays these types of video games. What sort of video games do you play?
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
And why did you want to start playing that game?
Because my friends had it at school.
So you would talk about it to your friends?
Yes, I would.
What would you say?
I'd ask them how many times they died in one game.
Do you understand what goes into an 18 rated game?
Blood, violence and swearing, yes.
So should you be playing an 18 rated game?
Not really.
And have you ever played Call of Duty for an extended period of time?
About 6 hours on and off. I'd go to eat, get a drink, go to the toilet and then I'd go straight back.
So Owen is a prime candidate to fall into two-step theory, cultivation theory and desensitization. There's a pressure on modern day social groups from feeling left out, which could be due to not owning the latest video game, meaning he won't be able to join in with the conversation. Cultivation theory is where the player is exposed to something for so long that it becomes the norm, which is worrying because of the type of video games that he's playing. We asked Mr. Hayes, the head teacher of Albany Academy, what he thinks of these social groups and these types of video games. Have you noticed a rise in aggression since you have been working in education?
I think there's always a number of children, young adults who can't control their emotions effectively, and when they get into situations that they're not comfortable with, sometimes they react in ways that are inappropriate. Has it gone up? It's difficult to say because I've worked in a number of schools in very different settings in terms of the social background and the environment, but I think we're getting more and more children coming through who've got anger issues, yes.
Do you think that violent video games can affect the average child?
I think it's very difficult to place the blame solely on one source. When you've got video games, you've also got television, films, YouTube, you've got all the other kind of media that's out there. I think it all has an impact on the average child.
Why do you think people are affected by violent video games?
I think because they are becoming more and more realistic. They're very immersive. You get to talk to the other people, you get to work as a team, you can go online and things now and play with your friends.
Are there any other factors that should be considered before putting the blame on video games?
Yes, there's the whole of society, isn't there?
Mr. Hayes, a man who works constantly in child development, believes that there are other factors to consider before putting the blame on video games. Now, we'll see how children behave closer to home. We asked Nicola Pemberton, a mother of two, what her children are like when playing these types of video games. How did they react when playing video games?
It depends. Sometimes they can be really well behaved, and if they're both on the same missions and stuff, they get on quite well and play nicely together. But then, like say, if Owen will accidentally shoot Ryan, then Ryan will have a proper strop and throw his control and paddy and run off and try to hit Owen or something.
What effect do you think this could be having long term?
I don't think it'll affect my kids long term, but I do understand that it can have an effect on some children where they act out scenarios.
Should we restrict what games developers can do, or should parents be more involved with what they're playing?
I think it's both. I think parents definitely play a big role in it, but I do think that game developers could put more warnings rather than just having the age on it. There could be more warnings about the effects that it does have on kids, so I do think that maybe a bit of both there, but definitely more the parents.
people asked are in agreement that the average child cannot be affected by these types of video games. This brings up a bigger question. Should we restrict who can and cannot play violent video games? You decide. I've been Joseph Penton. Thank you for watching.